Hello and welcome to our channel, the channel where we take a nostalgic trip down memory lane and revisit the things that made our childhoods awesome. Today we're going to talk about 12 things that are not found in schools anymore, but we wish they were. These are the things that made school fun, exciting, and sometimes a little bit dangerous. Let's get started. Chalkboards and chalk. Remember the sound of chalk scraping on the blackboard, or the feeling of dust on your fingers after writing something. Chalkboards and chalk were the main tools for teachers and students to communicate and learn in the classroom. They were also great for drawing, playing games, and making mischief. Nowadays, most schools have replaced chalkboards with whiteboards, smartboards, or projectors, which are more modern and convenient but also less charming and creative. Overhead projectors. Speaking of projectors, do you remember the old-fashioned overhead projectors that teachers used to show slides, diagrams, or worksheets on the wall or screen? They were bulky, noisy, and often malfunctioned. They were also fascinating to watch and play with. You could make shadows with your hands, write notes on the slides, or sneak in funny pictures to prank the teacher. Overhead projectors were a staple of school presentations and lectures, but they have been replaced by digital projectors, laptops, or tablets, which are more efficient and versatile, but also less fun and interactive. Film strips and slide projectors. Another type of projector that was common in schools was the film strip or slide projector, which showed images or movies on film or slides. They were used for educational or entertainment purposes, such as showing documentaries, cartoons, or historical photos. They were also a great way to spice up boring lessons or rainy days, as they brought some color and sound to the classroom. Film strips and slide projectors have been phased out by DVDs, streaming services, or online videos, which are more accessible and diverse, but also less nostalgic and special. Typewriters and word processors. Before computers and laptops became ubiquitous in schools, students used to type their papers and reports on typewriters or word processors. They were mechanical or electronic devices that printed letters on paper, using a keyboard and a ribbon. They were noisy, heavy, and often frustrating, as they had no delete or undo buttons, and required constant correction and maintenance. But they were also satisfying, rewarding, and sometimes artistic, as they produced neat, crisp, and unique documents. Typewriters and word processors have been replaced by computers and laptops, which are more powerful and convenient, but also less tactile and personal. Floppy disks and CD-ROMs. If you used a computer or laptop in school, you probably needed a floppy disk or a CD-ROM to store or transfer your files, or to run a program or a game. They were small, flat, or round devices that contained data or software, and could be inserted into a drive or a slot. They were handy, portable, and sometimes colorful, but they were also fragile, limited, and sometimes unreliable, as they could get damaged, lost, or corrupted. Floppy disks and CD-ROMs have been replaced by USB drives, cloud storage, or online platforms, which are more secure and spacious, but also less tangible and memorable. Encyclopedias and dictionaries. Before the internet and search engines became the main sources of information and knowledge, students used to rely on encyclopedias and dictionaries to do their research and homework. They were large, heavy, and expensive books that contained facts, definitions, or illustrations on various topics and words. They were authoritative, comprehensive, and sometimes beautiful, but they were also outdated, incomplete, and sometimes biased, as they could not keep up with the changing world and language. Encyclopedias and dictionaries have been replaced by websites, apps, or online databases, which are more current and convenient, but also less reliable and impressive. Cursive writing and fountain pens. Remember when you learned how to write in cursive or when you got your first fountain pen? Cursive writing and fountain pens were the symbols of elegance, maturity, and sophistication in school. They were also the tools for expressing yourself, creating art, or signing important documents. They were graceful, stylish, and sometimes romantic, but they were also difficult, messy, and sometimes painful, as they required practice, patience, and skill. Cursive writing and fountain pens have been replaced by printing, typing, or texting, which are more simple and practical, but also less beautiful and meaningful. Dodgeball and tetherball. Remember when you played dodgeball or tetherball in gym class or recess? They were the games that tested your strength, speed, and agility, as well as your courage, teamwork, and strategy. They were also the games that divided the class into winners and losers, friends and foes, or bullies and victims. They were fun, thrilling, and sometimes cathartic, but they were also violent, dangerous, and sometimes traumatic, as they could cause injuries, fights, or tears. Dodgeball and tetherball have been banned or discouraged in many schools due to safety and ethical concerns, and have been replaced by safer and gentler games, which are more inclusive and fair, but also less exciting and challenging. Metal detectors and security guards. Remember when you had to go through metal detectors or security guards to enter your school? They were the devices or people that were supposed to protect you, your classmates, and your teachers from harm or danger. They were also the devices or people that made you feel scared, paranoid, or oppressed, as they reminded you of the threats and risks that lurked outside or inside your school. They were necessary, reassuring, and sometimes heroic, but they were also intrusive, alarming, and sometimes ineffective, as they could not prevent or stop all the violence or crime that plagues some schools. Metal detectors and security guards have been removed or reduced in many schools due to budget cuts or policy changes, and have been replaced by more preventive and proactive measures such as counseling, education, or community involvement, which are more humane and holistic, but also less visible and immediate. Vending machines and soda fountains. Remember when you could buy a snack or a drink from a vending machine or a soda fountain in your school? They were the machines that offered you a variety of options, from chips and candy to soda and juice. They were also the machines that satisfied your hunger, thirst, or cravings, as well as your curiosity, independence, or rebellion. They were convenient, delicious, and sometimes surprising, but they were also unhealthy, expensive, and sometimes disappointing, as they could cause obesity, cavities, or allergies, or malfunction, jam, or run out of stock. Vending machines and soda fountains have been removed or restricted in many schools due to health and environmental concerns, and have been replaced by healthier and greener alternatives, such as water fountains, fruit baskets, or salad bars, which are more nutritious and eco-friendly, but also less tasty and fun. Lockers and locker rooms. Remember when you had a locker or a locker room in your school? They were the places where you stored your books, clothes, or belongings, as well as your secrets, memories, or treasures. They were also the places where you socialized, changed, or relaxed, as well as your friends, enemies, or crushes. They were useful, personal, and sometimes magical, but they were also crowded, dirty, and sometimes scary, as they could be vandalized, raided, or haunted. Lockers and locker rooms have been eliminated or reduced in many schools due to space and maintenance issues, and have been replaced by backpacks, cubbies, or online storage, which are more portable and accessible, but also less spacious and private. Field trips and school buses. Remember when you went on a field trip or a school bus in your school? They were the events or vehicles that took you to new places, such as museums, parks, or factories. They were also the events or vehicles that gave you new experiences, such as learning, exploring, or having fun. They were educational, adventurous, and sometimes unforgettable. But they were also costly, risky, and sometimes boring, as they could be expensive, dangerous, or dull. Field trips and school buses have been canceled or limited in many schools due to financial and safety reasons, and have been replaced by virtual tours, online classes, or carpooling, which are more affordable and secure, but also less real and memorable. So, these are the 12 things that are not found in schools anymore, but we wish they were. Do you agree with this list? What are some other things that you miss from your school days? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Recollection Road for more nostalgia and fun. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.